welcome to the Keith Nobles Show, brought to you by Nobles Financial Network and Auto Chicks, and you can find them both on Facebook. We've talked about some things that are wrong in this country the last few episodes, so let's talk about what a healthy society and healthy country looks like. I talk a lot about all men are created equal with the same natural rights. That means we would have a government and a society that reflects that. That means that laws would apply equally to everyone. People don't get to exempt their favorite companies, their favorite corporations from certain laws. People don't get to write laws and regulations that punish some and reward others. Certainly politicians don't get to exempt themselves from laws. But this is what society is now. So in a healthy society, what that would look like is all the laws would apply to everyone equally. And the laws would be focused on protecting rights and protecting property, not taking rights and taking property, and certainly not rewarding some people with some rights and denying other people other rights. That's not what a healthy society looks like. If we're really going to embrace all men are created equal with the same natural rights, that means the same laws have to apply to everyone. We can't have a system where some people are exempt. And as I talked about yesterday, we can't have a system where some people pay no price for being wrong, and to Taleb's point, skin the game. That some people, that when you have some in society who are making decisions that don't affect themselves, they only affect others, i.e. they have no skin in the game. That's intolerable. That's not healthy. That's not good. So our current system, Congress makes laws, exempts themselves from those laws. They have no skin in the game. When Congress exempted themselves from Obamacare, they had no skin in the game. None. And so we have to get away from this system. We have to get away from empowering government bureaucrats who when they're wrong, pay no price. They just keep doing their job. They may even get promoted. We need to hold the media accountable when they say things that aren't true, when they report things that aren't true. Now, it's one thing to make a mistake and then come back and correct that mistake. We all make mistakes. But when they keep perpetuating stories that are not true, just simply for the gain of the ratings, how many clicks they get, for their political favorites, we have to walk away from that system. That's not good. That's not healthy. What is healthy is that we all seek the truth. Right now we have a society, especially a social media society, that's focused on being right. And people will, Google articles to support their arguments. And no matter how absurd these articles are, and it's funny, people will find academic articles, say, well, it's been peer-reviewed, as though that makes it true. I mean, we have to walk away from this as a culture. We have to seek after what's true and what's equal, and not equal by force, but equal by society. There is no such thing as equal by force. Okay, for 100 years now, government has been promising to make things equal by force, by laws, by taxes, by regulations. Every law, tax, and regulation is upheld by one thing, and that is force. And that force ultimately is violence if you do not comply. If you don't pay your taxes, they will come get you. Men with guns will come to your house. If you run a business and you don't follow the regulations, ultimately, if you keep declining to follow the regulations, men with guns will show up. If you disobey a law, no matter how absurd the law is, it will be enforced by men with guns. Okay, so this is not to say we should have a society without laws. It's merely saying what things are worth force and violence to prevent. Because force and violence is all that upholds taxes, regulations, and laws. And we need to start looking at it in this paradigm. There has to be, from your city council to your county to your state to special districts to the federal government, an evaluation of what is worth force and violence. We have walked away from this, and it is destroying this country. It's tearing this country apart. I talked the other day, Eric Garner killed in New York by the police for selling loose cigarettes. Is selling loose cigarettes really worth force and violence? No, it is not. So, what's a healthy society look like? A healthy society is one in which protecting your rights and protecting your property is worth force and violence. Selling loose cigarettes? No, it's not. But beyond that, it's one of, as I'll keep going back to, one of all men are created equal with the same natural rights. This is abhorrent to progressives. Progressivism is fundamentally premised that not all men are created equal with natural rights, but that is an artificial construct. Let that sink in. That is an artificial construct to progressives. Now, there are probably progressives who don't even know this. There are progressives who think, well, it's to help people, and it's to make things fair. And look at these poor people without any real work in understanding why the poor remain poor, without any real work in understanding how anything in government or economics actually works, how it was intended to work and how it works now, and why there's such a gap here between what the United States was intended to be and what a free market economy was intended to be and what we have today. So a free market economy is really simple. A free market economy is what two people voluntarily agree to without any interference, without any compulsion, without any prohibition. So I have corn on the cob. You want to buy my corn on the cob? What's a fair price? What will you pay me for this and what will I accept? That's all it really is. There's no one telling you you have to buy corn on the cob. No one's stopping you from buying corn on the cob. There's nobody setting a minimum price or maximum price for it. It's just what two people agree to. The essence of a free market is really simple. No transactions take place unless it's to the mutual benefit of both parties. That's all it is. We have distorted the free market away from that whole idea to forcing people to buy things, preventing people from buying things, setting prices for people to buy things, even if we're setting those prices indirectly. Every tax and regulation on farmers, on transportation companies, on grocery stores is essentially setting a minimum price for those products. This all has to come to an end if we're going to recover freedom, if we're really going to have a society, a healthy society, predicated on all men are created equal with the same natural rights. We can't have continual government intervention into our rights, into what we're free to do and not do. Now, this has nothing to do with, say, should heroin be legal? This has to do with, can you make an agreement with somebody to your mutual benefit without having other people interfering? It's that simple. And I would say, yes, that's exactly what we should be doing. At the same time, we should not have people exempting themselves from laws, exempting themselves from being accountable for what they do. With freedom comes responsibility. You have to be responsible and accountable for the decisions you make. If you make bad decisions, it's on you. But you have to suffer the consequences of that, not as politicians and bureaucrats and the media and corporations who pay to play do, move those consequences off to innocent people. So, thank you for tuning in today. Please subscribe to the channel. This is a Keith Noble Show brought to you by AutoChicks and the Nobles Financial Network. And please look up my book on Amazon, Our Dogs Did Not Bark, a politically incorrect dystopian tale. Thank you so much.